Lisa Briggs is out on the weather patio taking your plant and garden questions. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, it's beautiful out here.
A beautiful day. Absolutely. We've got lots of questions. So let's start with Mike. He said, I noticed the other day that my arborvitae tree is turning yellow. We have a picture here. It's never done that before. A few spots here and there, but not like it is now. What could be the reason? The drought, the recent bout of heavy rain we received, or some disease? And is there anything you can do about it?
Oh, I looked at the picture. It's probably not disease and probably not the heavy rain because arborvitae like wet spots. So I would guess it's the drought combined with the fact that it looks like it's super shady there. Arborvitae do need a solid 5 or 6 hours of sun a day. Otherwise, they get thin, which is what that arborvitae looks like is happening. Yellowing and browning growth on the inside is pretty typical, and when they're thin, you can really see it. So I would say continue to keep watering, and if you can maybe this winter or next spring thin out the canopy above that arborvitae a little bit so it gets more sun, that should help.
Okay. Art wants to know, is it safe to use Ortho's Grass Be Gone on dianthus without harming the plant?
Grass Be Gone will only kill grass and not any broadleaf plants. And dianthus, even though the leaves look really narrow and grass-like, it is considered a broadleaf plant. So it should be fine, but he should be careful and be sure to follow the instructions on the package.
Yeah, that stuff will kill it if it gets in the way.
Yes.
All right, Glenn and Sue want to know, how do I prepare coral bells for the winter? Cut them back or leave them?
Coral bells can be partially evergreen, so I would not cut them back. If you get a cut Christmas tree, or if you want to get a bale of straw, you can put some of that over the coral bells once the ground freezes, so we're talking about maybe mid-December, and that will help to keep the crown protected, because since it's exposed, and then sometimes in the spring, you look at it, if it dies back all the way to the ground, it'll come up new, but you might save some of this year's growth for a bigger plant.
Okay. Robert says he loves dahlias but can never get them to winter. Digs them up before frost, put them in the cool cellar. He tried storing them in different mediums such as peat moss, vermiculite, or sand, but nothing seems to work in the spring. They're all dried and shriveled up. How do you overwinter them? So
the best thing to do is a cool, dark, airy place. Now he says his are drying up. Instead, generally what we see is it's a little wet, like in your basement, and they get moldy. But if they're drying up, then what I would do is maybe once you clean all the soil off, kind of surround them with peat moss or Excelsior, that's like that shaved wood that you get in packing products, or wood chips or something like that, and then check them every couple of weeks. And if they're starting to dry out, you can take them out and mist them a little bit, let them dry out, and then put them back in whatever the packing medium is.
All right, Jeannie says she went on vacation for a week and the mums look sick. Everything else is fine. Can I save these? If so, how?
Well, if they're outdoor mums, you know, garden mums, and when she says look sick, it's hard to know what she means. So if she'd send a photo to the plant desk, that's plantdesk@brucecompany.com, we can take a look at it. I suspect that they just got really dried out. Mums, because they're so compact, they're pinched to get them that way. So there's a lot of root mass compared to what's outside the pot. So I would guess that they just got really dry. So give them a good soak. Maybe even put them in a bucket and let the moisture soak in from the bottom of the plant.
Okay. Glenda says my moonflower vine never has many flowers on it. This year so far they have been 2 flowers. And with the cooler weather coming, I assume they won't be any more.
Yeah, and I would say that anybody that has house plants or super tender things that are outside, given the temperatures at the end of the week, I would be sure to bring those things inside before Friday night. If it's going to get close to 40, any of those, like hibiscus or any of that stuff, is going to suffer. So make a plan, treat for insect infestations, and bring them indoors.
All right. We're out of time. Lots of good questions today. Lisa, thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the patio.